So we are getting some pretty crazy leaks for the upcoming Nvidia 4000 series GPU. So the latest leak for the AD104 GPU features 7680 cores and a 12GB memory, 192-bit memory bus. And these things are pretty crazy. So apparently people are speculating this could be the RTX 4070 Ti. Obviously these are just like the internal code names, I guess you could call them. You know, these are not the actual SKUs which, you know, are made for the actual consumers. These are the internal numbers that they use for the actual chips and such. So people are speculating this could be the RTX 4070 Ti. And it's pretty crazy because apparently this GPU can easily compete with the current top card, which is the RTX 3090 Ti. And another thing that's also pretty crazy. So first of all, that would be of course that would be great, because that would mean we are once again would be getting a gigantic leap in performance, such as the 3000 series brought. Because you know, the 1000 series was pretty great. The 2000 series, you know, they added ray tracing, but like the performance uplift was really not all that. It was really not all that, basically. And, you know, the RTX 3000 series came with large performance upgrades, and, you know, apparently 4000 series is going to be pretty insane as well. Now, what is pretty insane as well is the power draw numbers that we're getting. So just to put it in perspective, the current top GPU, the RTX 3090 Ti, draws about 450 watts. And these cards are already super huge and run super hot, you know, and you need a pretty nice, you know, pretty big, very airflow focused case to actually deal with all of that heat. I mean, it's 450 watts. To put that in comparison, my Ryzen 5900X, the 12-core CPU, I believe that pulls like 150 watts, you know. I think it maybe can go up to like 180 watts. You know, but that's how much the CPU is pulling. And, you know, then a GPU like the 3090 Ti pulls 450 watts, which is a lot more. And apparently, we could be getting the next-gen top GPUs that pull over 600 watts, or just about 600 watts. So it's becoming really interesting just how these cards are going to be cooled, because we seem to... Every generation, we seem to be adding more wattage to these things, you know, to push more frames, to push more performance. But the thing is, 600 watts is already very challenging to cool with a graphics card. You know, obviously you have space limitations. You know, it's kind of more difficult than just a CPU, right? Because you just buy the CPU and then you buy the aftermarket cooler, you know, and you can get a pretty beastly big knock to a cooler, for example, or, you know, you can just add in water cooling and such. So with graphics cards, that's not so standard, because the mounts are different and stuff. So, you know, we get graphics cards generally that just have their own pre-applied air cooler, right? So with 600 watts, it's pretty interesting just how big these things, these coolers, are gonna have to be. And, you know, like, the question really is, like, if you're gonna want to cool this thing like really effectively, you know, like maybe you're a creative professional, right, and you're gonna be rendering on this card a lot, and maybe, you know, the temperature inside your room is gonna be a little bit warmer and stuff. So if you're actually gonna want to effectively cool this card, are you actually gonna need to go for custom water cooling? Because 600 watts, that is so much heat to dissipate. It's crazy. I mean, some like small heaters use that sort of wattage, you know. And of course, another thing is, if you're actually going to be rendering and doing stuff on this card, you are probably going to need to be in an air-conditioned room, or else you are just going to burn, basically. But anyways, these are pretty exciting news. Obviously, if we get another such huge generational improvement, that would be great. But the wattage is getting pretty crazy. So who knows? Maybe water cooling your graphics card could just become the norm, which is pretty crazy.